If you're tired of the standard business and marketing fundamentals, frameworks, and funnels, you need a little mischief. Get ready to turn up the volume on the CEO Mischief Maker podcast, where you access conversations with seasoned business owners who have smashed through mindset barriers, innovated the standard boring business and marketing playbooks, and executed future-paced strategies with bleeding-edge tools and tactics to micro-fail their way into massive success and growth. We are Mindset Impact Strategic Catalysts helping innovative entrepreneurs focus. We are CEO Mischief Makers. Ready to make a little mischief?
Hey. Oh, I cannot wait to continue this conversation. It's MKJ. Welcome back to the conversation, Mischief Makers. I get to chat again with Ronnie Loaiza. Ronnie, are you ready to take mindset into impact and innovation?
Yes.
So if you haven't listened to our first conversation about mindset, you need to go back and listen to that because it's going to inform you about where we're headed now. So, tell us a little bit more about your life. Now, I want to go back to, you mentioned in our last episode about travel. You mentioned about being born in the U.S., but then you went back to wherever your father was, and then you moved back to the U.S. when you were 5. And from your native language of Spanish into the United States and started speaking English. And I know you speak other languages still. But tell me a little bit more about that journey. Where did your family live after you were born?
I suppose, we did move quite a bit, but for the most part, I lived in Florida. And then when I graduated college, again, I was the black sheep. Everybody in my family, because we were Latin Americans, you became an architect, an engineer, or a doctor, right? And I was my sister became an attorney. My brother got like 2 masters in different things in economics. And I was in mass communication. And they're like, what is that? And, liberal arts. But I already had a job in a newsroom. Granted, it was just answering phones. But I was answering phones in a local news station in Tampa, Florida. So I thought, my foot's in the door. Why would I waste time going to graduate school? So my father dangled. I'll never forget, we were, I think at Denny's or somewhere like that. He dangled sending me to France for just a few months, go to learn French, because I had taken German in high school. And he's like, go learn, and travel. I was like, okay. I ended up going for 5 years.
Wow.
And it was immersion. And that's the thing. I'm not afraid of going anywhere. I don't care if they don't speak English. Especially now with technology, you just carry your phone, you Google it right away. The translator's on automatically. Yeah. But before the phones and all that, I never had any qualms of going anywhere and meeting new people. To me, it's exciting. And you learn. And the more I traveled, I was traveling on my own at 12. My parents would send me, but I would go on my own. The more I traveled, the more I thought, I don't know anything. The more I learned, the more I knew I didn't know.
Yes.
In other words.
Yes.
And it really opens your eyes to other people's mindsets, other people's cultures.
Yes.
It makes you more inquisitive. So we don't just live in our own little world. And when you say impact and innovation, I really believe in you want an impact in your life. That's why you're getting business coaching, mindset coaching, life coaching, whatever it is. You want to impact in every aspect of your life, your relationships, your career, your love life, your family, your wellness, your health. Every single aspect is a subset of the other, and each one has a little to big impact on the other. It just does. So I'm holistic. You have to take care of all of it. And that doesn't mean more time on each one. It's like, of course, you balance things out. Like I said, different impacts. But back to me, I would think that I was just always very inquisitive. And I guess somebody once told me, it's got to be the reporter in you. And I thought, you know what? I became a reporter because I was always curious and because I found it exciting and I wrote well. I'm like, okay, English. So it wasn't the reporter in me. It was me that brought it to the reporter.
Yeah.
And
your curiosity is what was in you that made you good at that job.
Yeah, it really was. And I had to be very objective. When people used to email me, remember that? They used to email the newsroom rather than just call or post. I I would get complaints from both sides, and my news director was like, "You're doing great." When you get complaints, you're doing great. People are listening. They're hearing you.
Right.
And when you get them from both sides, you know they don't know which side you're on.
That's it.
I'll never forget
Even
that.
better. Yes. Because that's when you know not only are they engaging with your content, but then you also know you are making a statement that they either agree with or disagree with, and they are willing to take time to tell you. So that's impact. That's amazing impact. I mean, most people on social media right now would love that because
right?
aren't getting that kind of engagement.
And the thing is, as a coach, not as a coach, as a reporter, I always made sure, because I wanted to be able to, back then you had to get a story. If you had a lot of controversy in it, you had to get it fact checked by 5 people.
Oh,
now, they rarely take the time to have it fact checked by 1. That's just the way it is because everything's too fast and everybody's just trying to get it on air.
Wow.
But back then, I made sure the sound bites told the story.
Yeah.
I attributed and I had the people say the stuff. If they got mad at me, all I did was set up the sound bite. I didn't say a word. I was objective. Reporters are objective. That's why when people complain about the media, I'm like, no, reporters don't want to get sued. They report. Now, that's different in people. I'm not trying to be condescending, but we have so much media out there. People do mistake show hosts for reporters and journalists. They're not. They can say whatever the heck they want because it's their show. That's different.
That's right.
And I think I bring that into coaching in that I am very objective. I do not push an agenda. I do pull things out of you, and I pull no punches. I do challenge people.
But see, that's where that comes from. So that's the innovation part. So just to make sure we're all on the same page, I don't think of innovation as the Steve Jobs and the Elon Musks of the world. I think of all of us as innovative. So you have taken that curiosity, that objectiveness, that ability to find the soundbite, hear the soundbite, and take that piece and clarify it with your clients. You've taken that skill and you've applied it to coaching. And that's not the case with every coach. Every coach doesn't have that previous experience and knowledge and innate curiosity that you do. And that's innovation. So how are you've already kind of broken down a little bit about how you're doing that and how you can ask those questions and be objective. What else out of that previous experience, that PR, that journalism, that communications degree, what else are you bringing out of that make you a very unique coach?
Well, I think it's to make things clear to people so that they understand. If I repeat something, and I don't know if I told you this, but somebody asked me a question about what do you think is different about you? And I remember answering, I hear between the lines. And I thought that as a kid. I hear when the miscommunication is about to happen as it's happening between other people. I would just pay attention. And, you're hearing things around you. And in all conversation, you hear when the conflict is going to happen in the miscommunication. And I really took that into conversations between people socially and as a journalist and in public relations. I really hear between the lines what clients are really saying. And so then I always try to give them what they wanted or what they needed, but also give them what they need, make them think it's what they want. But you also have to let them know, this is what I hear. Is this true? And so people have to really clarify it in their own brain. So I guess I bring that now is I hear things. I hear little points where I can turn the conversation and really make them go deeper. The 6 layers of why. That's an ICF thing, an International Coaching Federation thing, but it's true. It's like people say, well, I want to lose weight. Well, why do you want to lose weight? Well, I want to feel more confident. Why do you want to feel more confident? Then it starts getting good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Then it starts getting really, what do they really want? That kind of thing. And the innovation I think I bring with me is I really keep bringing the facts. Is that true? Is that fact? Is that realistic? Is that doable? Are you realistically going to do it? That kind of thing. And that doesn't mean I don't believe in them. I totally believe in them. It's just if you've tried things before and they haven't worked, you got to look at that. It hasn't worked.
Yes.
So we got to look at what will work so that you do achieve and you grow from that and you celebrate it. And my innovation is accountability. People always said I hold them accountable. I wanted to turn that around into, some people want an accountability coach or they want an accountability partner, but most people, when they hear accountability, it's like, ugh, they're going to nag me and they want to ghost you if they don't check in with you, and they feel nudged and pushed. It's like, no, 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 no. I'm not here to push you like that or
Yeah.
nag. Accountability is for you to start liking, I mean, deep down feeling happy with yourself. And so you hold yourself accountable. That shouldn't be a bad thing. If something didn't work, you look at the fact, why didn't it work? And there's a difference between giving yourself grace and using an excuse. There really is. And people start seeing that. It's like, was that an excuse? Or did something out of my control happen? Or did I just not feel like it? Why didn't I feel like it? Just look at the truth.
Right.
Tomorrow is another day. You'll live. It's okay.
Right.
If you didn't feel like it, you didn't feel like it. And you have to look at why. So back to accountability, I kind of coined celebrative accountability. When they start working with me, I'm like, let's celebrate. And at first, some of them think, oh, this is silly. This is too much celebrating. And then they like it. It's like if you're about to go do something, whether it's in business or how they set up their cubicle or productivity habit, whatever it is, or in their exercise, as they're about to go do that action that they're turning into a habit, I'm going to go do it. I'm about to do it. I'm starting. I'm going. Whatever they want to say that's natural to them. And say it out loud.
Yeah.
Because your brain hears it. It's like, yep. And it's like when you're turning on your computer. You say, I'm turning on the computer. Yep. And as they're doing it, I'm doing it. Yep. Noted. Capable. And afterwards, celebrate it. So they start celebrating with me. Like they'll go on Voxer. At the end of the day, I use Voxer to nap. And all they have to do is a little green check emoji, if that's all they want to do, or done, did it. But usually they start telling me how they did it, and it's great, and it's a great feeling. Some of them at first feel it's silly because they're not used to praising themselves. But then you get used to it. Because when they leave me, when they go off the nest, they learn how to hold themselves accountable by celebrating themselves. That's it. You just have to validate yourself. Not blow up your tush,
Yeah.
but truly look at the fact. Did I do it? Yes. Can I do it? Yes.
Yes.
And that is dopamine for the brain. So when we are training in habits, no matter what it is, and it can be in relationships and dating and in your health, whatever it is, when you're training yourself in habits, you're coaching yourself and you're activating it and you're making sure that you can do it and you're celebrating it, when you do that, it's an instant reward. Our brains need instant rewards. Yes, we need a vision. You're in business and you coach a lot of people in business and careers. Yes, you have to have that vision. Yes, you have to have your mission and mission statement. You're your own CEO and C-suite. It's like, okay, how am I going to carry this out? But every day, the everyday daily things and every hour things, those are, I don't want to lose my train of thought, those are tiny actions that have to be your instant reward, because the long-term goal is not enough. Obviously, it's not, because a lot of people fall by the wayside. It's like, my long-term goal is to make 100,000 my first year, or 500,000. Yay, that's your long-term goal. Celebrate today. What did you do today? What action did you do today? What email did you send today that you were hesitant? What sales call did you make today?
Yes.
What did you post today? How did you reach out and network today? And celebrate it. And celebrate it, because you need an instant reward. We human beings need an instant hit of dopamine.
That's the reason, so I agree 100%. That's the reason that little red dot on your notifications exists, because the dopamine hit when you open it and clear it is a yay, I did it. Yay, it was a gnawing thing. That's the reason it's there. Go watch the movie Social
Network?
Yeah, no. It's the movie that's basically was the start of showed the start of Facebook, and is it
Social Network.
I thought there was another word.
Okay.
Anyway,
I thought it was called
no, not them. It's a documentary. It's a documentary, not a
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Social. Anyway, I'll think of it and put it in the show notes. But that dopamine hit, that because we all have that desire to clear that, to see who's talking about me. Why do I have 5 little red dots on there that someone's either mentioned me or looked at my post or liked my post? Or we need to do that. We need to clear that. We need to know who's talking about us, and then we get that celebration that we're good, that somebody likes us, that all those reasons. And it sounds like you probably did that same thing from the innovation standpoint when you were a personal trainer. We don't go from overweight to fit overnight. And it doesn't happen with just doing one exercise or eliminating one food or any. It is a small series of steps. So is that true also, that the way you looked at personal training and those small habits that you developed as a personal trainer, or first as a person who needed personal training from injury, then as a person who became a personal trainer helping others do the same thing, is that what led you into the actual coaching?
Subconsciously, probably, because when I first, the pandemic hit and I couldn't go to people's homes and boutique studios anymore. And I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? And my husband said, go on Zoom. I was not, an Instagram selfie kind of girl. I'm like, okay, here we go. Opened up the laptop. Everybody went on Zoom. And we realized we were more focused and it was easier. And we didn't have the clanging and clanging of the gyms, or we didn't have the distractions of the home. And it was so convenient. They could go on any time. But yes, it's getting my clients to get into habits, and then we start the easy way. I remember I was an aerobics kind of girl. Now it's called cardio. So it was really hard not to pound my body and just go running or go jogging or do a step class and do weight training. And that's what saved me. And now it's weird if I don't. It's really weird if I don't. Working out every day for me is just part of who I am. It's part of my identity. So that's okay, let's go there. That's what makes it easy. Habits you don't have to think about. You already do them, and it's weird if you don't.
Yeah.
Because it becomes part of who you are. What does a writer do? They write. Don't worry about all the process and how many words you write today and all that. Just write. Just sit down and write. Don't edit while you write. You know, I'm an athlete. Well, what does an athlete do? They do their sport. Don't worry about how. We'll get there. The details will come.
Yep.
If you don't know which path to take in a new career, I've taken a lot of people through career transition, which really surprised me. But it's true. It's like, whoa, Bessie, slow down. It's not all about the resume and the cover letter. Those are important, but those are tools. What do you really want? And let's go after that. But hey, what are your habits? What's your habitual way of thinking? And then we go through the transition. Going through that, again, I don't want to lose my train of thought. It's, what is it that you want? And then which path to take. That was it. People are afraid of taking the wrong way. It's like, just tell me which way, which direction, what job, what should I do on LinkedIn? What should I do on this cover letter? It's like, take a path. If it's not the right one, you'll soon know. It's like when you get on the road, the freeways will come, the off ramps will come, and you will then make decisions. Don't worry about making all the decisions now. It's good to have business plans. It's good to have a vision. It's good to have all of those, but you also have to be flexible. Habits allow you to be flexible because your habits are your identity, your core values, anchored on that. So you can be flexible on all the details because your core values and who you really are, that's there all the time. It's like your car you're driving. That's your car. That's your engine. The momentum follows naturally. It's natural momentum. So don't worry about all the tiny little decisions and paths that you're going to take. They will come, and then you will decide. And of course, you can ask people for their advice and their consultation and get a mentor. I think that's wonderful and that's smart. Ask people who know and who've been there. But then you make up your own mind according to what you want and what you feel.
Okay, hold on. If your mindset was shifted, you were inspired to innovate, and you were spurred into action, don't just move on with your day. Focus, my friend, and take a few minutes to visit CEOmischiefmaker.com to learn more about the value that was shared with you today. Please act now and create some CEO mischief of your own.